If there's one thing that women and men can agree on, it's that it is objectively dangerous for women to walk alone at nighttime, to be outside at nighttime, and we all know why. So I just don't think it is that radical to propose that one day a week men should get a curfew so that women can go on walks at nighttime or runs or just like be outside. Imagine the freedom of being able to just go on a run at 3 o'clock in the morning. Or just like when I'm on my sunset walk, I don't want to have to feel scared when the sun goes down because the creeps come out. Once a month even. I don't think that's so crazy. I don't think that is so crazy.
Go on, let's hear it.
It's not just unsafe for women only. It's unsafe for men as well. It's unsafe for a lot of people to walk around at 3 o'clock in the morning on the streets.
Why do you think it's unsafe for men as well?
It's unsafe for men for different reasons. For example, for men, it could be more so you could get robbed, you could get jumped.
And what are those people that do the robbing and do the jumping?
Men.
But what are they? They're criminals, right? So what happens when you put a law in, a curfew, for people to abide by? Do criminals listen to laws, you stupid woman?
Yeah.
Like, how dumb do you have to be? All you're going to do is have all of the law-abiding guys like me sit indoors because we don't want to get arrested, and the people that were breaking the law anyway are going to be outside. So your dumb ass is going to go outside where there's no men that are going to be there to protect you, and the worst is going to happen. Even worse is going to happen. This is the same dumb argument that when people make when they talk about banning guns, just completely getting rid of guns. Yeah, all the law-abiding citizens are going to give them in. And guess what? All the psychos, all the criminals who didn't listen to the law in the first place are going to have their guns anyway.
And they have the upper hand as well.
And then we're just at that mercy. So you want to have all of us sit indoors so you can go gallivanting God knows where in a park at 3 a.m. because why would you be doing that anyway? Why would you be doing that anyway? What would you be doing out at that time to begin with? And I'd ask that to guys as well. What are you doing in a park at 4 a.m? Why do you want to be outside at that time? Shouldn't you be sleeping? And if you do need to be outside at that time, do you really want to be in a world where all of the men that would be there to have your back, because the police are not always going to get there on time, none of them are going to be about. So anyone that hears you scream, guess what? You're only going to attract more criminals, more people to do awful things to you.
And also having one curfew a week or whatever it was that she was saying, that's not going to stop anything from happening on any other days.
It's just going to be a purge for the guys that were going to do it anyway.
This stuff can happen at any time of the day as well. It doesn't always just happen at night time. There's plenty of people who get abducted and attacked and stuff during the day.
Yeah, imagine being on the street where you know there are no men other than the ones that don't listen anyway.
Yeah, there is. Unfortunately, it's just one of them things that there is no solution to it. We live in an unsafe world, and you just need to just be responsible.
You know, I thought that was satire at first. I didn't think anybody was that stupid, but then I found another video of somebody in Parliament saying that she wants to propose a curfew for men. Let me show you this donut. This is an old lady as well.
So all other men have to suffer now.
Not only do we have to sit indoors because of the behaviors of criminals who are not going to listen anyway, but then the women are going to suffer. The women are going to bite the bullet for this one, 100%. If you have a curfew in place where all of the law-abiding citizens stay indoors, then you're only going to be left with criminals. Criminals of all types, from the mundane to the extreme. So seems like a smart idea.
I might actually put in an amendment to create a curfew for men on the streets after 6 p.m, which I feel would make women a lot safer. And discrimination of all kinds would be lessened.
Discrimination of all kinds would be lessened.
How can you use that in both sentences in the same... Oh my God.
How dumb. How many years have you been on this planet? You look old enough to be sand and you're saying dumb stuff like that. How many years have you been here to work out why that was one of the stupidest things you could say?
It was very contradictory.
Lessen discrimination whilst discriminating against an entire gender. Well done. Listen, if there's any girls out there that think that this is a good idea, please just go to bed, think it over. This is a stupid idea, and nobody should be pushing for this stuff. For me to see somebody standing up, I assume was Parliament, she sounded English, and trying to propose a 6 p.m. curfew. Are you insane?
6 p.m, you know.
6 p.m. That's when I'm leaving the gym. You're telling me I'm driving home from the gym, the police pull me over, I'm going to prison. Are you crazy? This is not going to protect women, okay? If anything, I would say that you need, the girl that posted that TikTok and that woman that is in parliament, the first thing that you need to worry about is your stupid brain. That is one of the dumbest things that you could say. Especially that woman in parliament, man. You're standing up there talking about discrimination, wanting to discriminate. Well done. What a stupid idea. Maybe what we need is stricter laws on criminals to deter people from doing bad things. Why do you think someone somewhere like Singapore or somewhere like Cyprus looks so beautiful, where the streets are so clean, why people are so comfortable walking around? Why do you think that is? It's because their laws are so strict against criminals. They do not feel incentivized to commit crimes, because over here and in America, the laws are not strict enough. And so people know when they do things, they'll be given a slap on the wrist. Maybe they'll get a little bit of time and they'll be right out on the streets. You do that stuff in Singapore, I guarantee you will not do it again. Most likely because you will be dead. They don't mess about in Singapore. From what I heard, you mess about in Singapore for minor things, you get lashes. Lashes on your back. And for possessing drugs, as far as they're concerned, they see it as drug trafficking. Whether you are smoking it or whether you are selling it, they don't care. And they kill you for it. Now, I'm not saying that they've got everything ironed out perfectly. I'm not saying that we should be killing people that are smoking weed. What I am saying is that we need stricter laws if we're going to protect women. There needs to be harsher punishments for criminals so they don't feel like they can do whatever they want to women that are walking down the street. You give someone life in this country, they get 20 years. 20 years. And some woman has, I don't know, they've assaulted her. They've done God knows what else to her. And she's been scarred for the rest of her life. And then they get life, which is 20 years, right? Now, let's say they get multiple life sentences, which doesn't happen as often as it should. Don't you think that people would be less likely to want to commit a crime if they were scared of the punishment? If they had laws that were even remotely close to Singapore, don't you think people would be a little bit more deterred? And don't you think that would keep more women safe and more men? Instead of proposing stupid ideas on men that weren't going to commit crimes in the first place. You put a 6 p.m. curfew in on guys in the UK, all you're going to do is have guys like me rushing home from gym because I don't want to go to prison. You think the hoodlums and the hood rats are going to be like, yeah, let's go home. They were already committing crimes before. They were already risking prison time. They already don't respect the law. They're not going to listen. You're going to endanger more women. Pull your head out of your asses.